drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face. As soon as you delve into your mind, it is filled with flashes of 1,000 different dead. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
What are you doing? I'm alive, yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive? I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing. You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us. No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads. We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company. One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way. Something the matter? I understand why you ask, but memory loss is not as uncommon as you'd think. There may be other causes. We haven't gone all that far yet. What are you referring to exactly? Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. We've no solid leads right now, though. We'd best get hunting. If you discover anything that might help us, I'm all ears. I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance. I must admit, you've been a surprise. And not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises? There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? I should hope not. Have you ever heard the people who want to talk about themselves? I'm doing you a favor. Sweet of you, but don't worry. I'm sure you'll get to know me just fine by traveling together. No need for interrogations just yet. Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others? I was hoping for a kind soul. Well, not to worry. I saw you on the ship, strutting about whilst I was trapped in that pod. What did you and those tentacled freaks do to me? You arrogant little...
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light. The fear.
What was that? What's going on? The worm. Of course. That explains things. Somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies. A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me. My, you've been busy. So, did you learn anything about these worms while wandering the ship? Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time. Well, yes, of course. But first things first. You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And anyone that can crash a mind flayer ship and walk away seems like a good person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
As he joins your side, your mind dances with thoughts of a perfect, pretty corpse. The boar grunts and eyes you warily with its beady eyes. The boar shuffles its trotters, unsure. Then it dashes away into the wilderness.
No time to rest. Let's get going. There. A mind flayer. And it's hurt.
That thing's bound to be dangerous, even if injured. Best be careful. Astarion's an interesting find. Let's hope any future acquaintances don't hold a blade to your throat by way of introduction.
You have a manner of irresistible desperation about you. I like it. Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
You approach the dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion. Compassion. You can't move, can't think. thinking is mercifully done for you. It will be a joy to serve, to die for it an honor. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere. The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
What's going on with that room? It looks unstable somehow.
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
A hand? Anyone?
This branch of flesh is begging to be pruned, and its sap sucked from.
My mistress' eyelids! Stop! Cease, you loon! Ah! Ah!
As soon as the dreams cross the threshold of your imagination, you snap back to realize they have all come true.
You were supposed to lend a hand, not take one.
Joy floods through you. You were dazed on the Nautiloid, but now you are truly awake. Alive.
Something the matter?
You look rabid, pained, sick. You're spasming and twitching. You poor thing. The norm is to keep dirty thoughts like that to ourselves, but do carry on. It seems you've been dealt a vile hand. I say, play it. Play it for all it's worth. Nobody should deny themselves their true nature.
Approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
A hand? Anyone? Just your average traveler stuck between realms. Pull me out, and we'll get properly introduced. Ow! Perhaps I should have clarified? A helping hand? Anyone? Whatever you're doing is working wonders! Now a quick little pull should do the trick. Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this. At magic. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well. I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savory propulsion. Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side, as it were. How about you? How did you survive the fall? Fair enough. But even so, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region, were you not? No use sugarcoating it, is there? The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them. As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together? Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved. Or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
I've heard you can't get blood from a stone, but apparently you can get a wizard from one. Gale seems interesting.
You're not versed in magic, are you? Oh, I do apologize. I meant to ask, are you studied in magic? Namely, are you a wizard? Which you are not. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master. Go ahead. I'm listening. Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, City of Splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry.
There. Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
For a split second, you see a swirl of untamed magic. Then his defenses drop like a portcullis.
Out! That was uncalled for. Not an eventuality I'm entirely unfamiliar with. Nevertheless, please don't try that again unless I invite you to. Memory loss isn't usually a symptom of xenomorphosis. If it is, they've forgotten to write it down in any text I've read on the subject. Then again, our case isn't exactly usual. Perhaps whatever's causing our tadpoles to remain in stasis has also affected your mind. If xenomorphosis takes place, all trace of your former self will be subsumed into the mind flayer's hive. So, to still be here, if a mite forgetful, still a win in my book. We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about, so long as they remain fantasies.
Of course it's dangerous. One of them carved up Zoru's whole squad.
So let's
We should
leave
check it out. But be careful.
And let the goblins have it? No. We take it to the grove. Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
Your words flow to her, though you never speak them aloud.
I know what grows inside you, and I know of a cure.
Remember how keen she was to leave me to die in the Nautiloid? We can't trust her.
He's right. No one's safe if that thing goes loose. Not even us.
Damaze?
Enough. Lower the trap. Ready your blade.
You've but one chance. Join me or die.
No!
You lying rat!
Remember how keen she was to leave me to die in the Nautiloid? We can't trust her.
He's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast. You didn't hear it? Shook our camp good, so we came for a look. Northwest. Look for Nettie. Whatever your wound, she can mend it.
And be careful. There are goblin traps everywhere.
Nymessa, come.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Questionable intellect. Unsurprising.
Release me, or enjoy a future as Geich. Mind flayers. The atrocities we are becoming.
I know a remedy.
Release me and I will share it.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious.
But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
A pity that. I made an offer and you accepted. Your fantasy is not my burden. It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter.
Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Geich tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks. You are full up. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Very well, but heed my words.
The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki.
A creche must be near. I must interrogate this Zoru. Our very lives depend on it. I will be at your camp. Do not keep me waiting.
Something the matter?
A Githyanki joining our company. Not a collaboration I'd have anticipated, but a welcome one nonetheless.
I am enjoying the latest addition to our little group. Lae'zel is delightful. In a very look at me twice and I'll dismember you kind of way, of course.
Lae'zel has a dangerous look in her eyes. Let's just hope she reserves those impulses for any common foes.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the druid? Please! There's no time! By the nine hells! Open the gate! Damnable roach! Provoke the blade. And suffer its sting. That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
So, do you have loves waiting for you once this is all over?
Glowing eyes are rarely a good sign. Best be careful. One day I'll catch a break. Glowing eyes are rarely a good sign. Best be careful.
What a day. Like a wraith, gently.
His breaths are shallow, his wounds deep. He doesn't respond to your voice.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I thought I was gonna die down here. Oh, it's my fault. I thought I'd given them the slip, but they followed me through the tunnel back there. I must tell the others what happened. I stepped careful. There are traps in these tunnels. And thank you again.
You know what I really miss about Baldur's Gate? The food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
I don't care for fish. Red meat, now, that's a different matter. Rare as can be. Dripping.
Well, unless we find a cure, you won't have any teeth to chew it with soon enough.
I am enjoying our walks together. Aren't you, gang?
Sure. In silence.
I can't stop the bleeding, Bray.
Press the wound. Not like that. You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
An oil bear. Please, do you have any...
Shut up, Andric. Do you serve the Absolute?
Wait.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits. yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He's a true soul. Mind him. He will... He...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
What? Are you testing us?
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice. Your words are her command. She grants you the power to enforce her will. And when the time comes, the true souls, you, will rule.
Oh, I like these two. All zeal and no brains.
We know that all too well, sir, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here. You! Brenna! Kill him!
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Most corpses feel like toys before you, to be played with and discarded when you tire. This body seems different. A friend calls out from the corpse, desperate to be freed. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you. Your muscles loosen. The tadpole breaks free of its deceased host. Your mind is your own again. For now. An empty mind flare vessel. If its occupant survived, then nowhere to be seen.
Do you have someone waiting for you in Baldur's Gate, Astarion? A sweetheart, perhaps?
Not one in particular. The city is a veritable feast of sweethearts.
You must be eager to get back, then. Slimmer pickings out in this wilderness. It's a lunar statue in a stinking cave. Hardly a place of honor.
A wizard sealed this chest. Wasn't an amateur either.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness. The beast shrinks back, feathers quivering.
What did you mean, Holger? A woman with shadows for eyes, you said?
Merely that if the eyes are the mirror to the soul, yours have dark curtains across the mirror. No offense taken, I hope.
Not necessarily. I haven't made up my mind about you yet. You seemed quite forward with your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now than ever.
Careful you don't pull a muscle in your haste.
He whines, but remains rooted by the corpse's side.
Dead goblins. Dead travelers.
I wonder where they were going.
Let them to our door! And you... There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
We lost him back at the ruins. Whole place is crawling with gobos.
He trusted you.
Nobody forced him to go with us. He insisted. And when things got tough, he couldn't keep up. Simple as that.
My God, you're a coward.
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
More goblins could be on their way.